What's up, everybody? This is not a review or anything like that. This is kind of like something I've kind of wanted to talk about for maybe about a good 2 weeks and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The five topics I want to just say. Well, kind of like four, but I'll get to the point. I really want to talk about has kind of been brewing on my mind a little bit. Well, not brewing on my mind, but social media. So let's begin. All right, so I want to give my thoughts on this whole Will, Jada, August Alsina entanglement triangle. It's funny how the word of 2020 now is entanglement and stuff like that. So you guys should know the news that August Alsina, pretty much, that punk R&B singer, um, pretty much revealed that him and Jada had an affair, and Will gave her blessing and stuff like that. And this was like years ago, like around like maybe like 2017 and stuff like that. And pretty much, it created like a lot of controversy and whatnot. And I think it was like the last week and a half, Jada admitted it, and she invited Will Will Smith like over to her podcast, that Red Table Talk and stuff like that. And it's like, oh my. Here's what I have to say about all of this whole things. Personally, why be so paid to destroy marriage and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like I've been seeing like August, feeling like butthurt that, oh well, she basically turned me down and stuff like that. But at the same time too, it's like it was not real. She said it was not really official. It was like an entanglement and stuff like that. And so it's funny too because I'm watching social media right now, and I'm seeing a lot of he said she said. A lot of people are not crying saying that oh well, maybe Will wasn't doing something right with the marriage and stuff like that. Maybe this, maybe that. And it's just like interesting enough because you know there's been like a lot of rumors about the Smiths and stuff like that have like an open marriage. Just look at it. I don't even want to get into it right now, but and so what I thought was like a PR move right now and shit like that. I'm just backing up because I'm like right up below my fan and shit like that. I'm not trying to get my nose stuffed up. Was no August Alsina, he did a song called Entanglements featuring Rick Ross and stuff like that. And it's just like, dude, really? Like the Jada was really honest about her relationship and stuff like that. And you really want to pull some sucker shit like that? Like, come the fuck on, dude. Like, and like I've never been a fan of August Alsina. I don't really care for his music. It sounds like fucking generic R&B and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, grow the fuck up, grow the fuck up. Like, and this is what I have to say too. Like, people want to emphasize the fact that oh, if the female is unhappy in the relationship, pretty much it's like a life or death relationship. But no one really talks about what if the male is unhappy. And I know what y'all are thinking. I know what y'all are thinking. Like, oh well, male, guys, they can just push it under the rug and stuff like that. Well, in this day and age, like with mental illness, like being more of a concern and stuff like that with black men and stuff like that, you don't know what's really going on and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just the fact that I've been seeing like a lot of memes. Memes to me, yes, I do laugh at it once in the blue moon. Yeah, I see a meme, I'll laugh, but I feel like memes are a way to like control how one thinking because I've been seeing like a lot of memes with Will Smith in the red table and pausing at the face where you can tell he's hurt and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And let this shit be clear and stuff like that. Technically, it was not. really an affair, technically, because they were separated a little bit at that time and shit like that. So yeah, and the funny thing about I witnessed in all of this shit, the same people that are tearing Will down or hyping Jada up are the same motherfuckers that be like, I want that Will and Jada love. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing we have to stop doing in 2020. That is one motherfucking thing we have to stop doing. Like, stop just comparing relationships. I want that Will and Jada love, or I want that Swiss and Alicia, that Dwayne and Gabrielle. Let's be real. Hollywood was made out of entanglements. Point blank. Period. They were made out of entanglements and shit. Like, and y'all should know this story with Swiss, Alicia, Dwayne, Gabrielle. But I'm not really gonna get into that right now. You know. So I just have to say that about that. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know the true story behind the relationship and shit. You know. And like I said, like they've been married. You know, I'm gonna turn this fan off now. They've been married for about since I want to say 96 or 97. Yeah, 97. I want to say they've been married and shit like that. So yeah, man. Like I just feel like and then I just feel more sorry for the kids because if I'm not mistaken, Jaden and August were pretty cool and shit though. But it is what it is. Um, Okay, now I really want to talk about the whole shooting of Megan Thee Stallion and stuff like that. So if you guys should know, like last week, Monday or Tuesday, no, it was Sunday night, but it wasn't like really broadcast until Tuesday and stuff. Um, Megan Thee Stallion was like shot on her foot, allegedly by Tory Lanez and stuff like that. And this all happened when they were at what's her name, Kylie Jenner's party or some shit like that. There's got to be a Kardashian or Jenner involved, but more on that later. And pretty much, they were in the car and there was a shot and she got shot in the foot and she was limping and stuff like that. If y'all watch the video, y'all would know what I'm talking about. And so Tory Lanez got arrested. So I was reading the whole article and shit like that. I, there was all the clues like Megan Thee Stallion shot, Tory Lanez was arrested with a gun. So I was like, Tory Lanez, nah. Like y'all should know Tory Lanez. He's like that little singer rapper or whatever, and some shit like that. And it's kind of crazy too because um, it's been said that there's like a lot of bits and pieces coming out because I know Megan said that she's traumatized and stuff like that, but now it's been said that Tory Lanez pretty much it's like they were fighting over Kylie Jenner or some shit like that, or Tory Lanez wanted to get with Megan and shit. But it's like there's not really a lot of he says she said, like a lot of like clear examples as to why it really happened and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been looking at the fucking memes, social media, and it's just like everyone pretty much is like saying, oh, well, just making jokes about it. And I'm just looking at myself like, so somebody getting shot is funny now? And stuff like that. Even though like motherfuckers like don't exactly know exactly like how the shit happened and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's like her producer, Lil Ju made the beat. Pretty much was like after Tory Lanez and stuff like that because he's still held in custody and stuff. So give me one second, I'm gonna get some water right quick. Yeah, so it's just like they don't know exactly what happened, and yeah, man, I just want to say like it's crazy shit though. You know what I'm saying? Very crazy shit. Like, so gladly she is okay and stuff like that. But at the same time too, it's just another day in 2020. That's all I have to say on that part. All right. Next topic. Just want to give like a quick, hopefully keep your head up with Tamar Braxton and stuff like that, which kind of sort of ties in. I feel like these next three parts are like gonna tie in with one another, but I'm gonna just go with it because I didn't really exactly write notes. I'm kind of going off my membrane with this one. and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wrote down the topic. So in case like I'm just like rambling and some shit like that, I'm just really just going improvising and shit. So yeah, so it's like Tamar Braxton. I think like last Friday, she tried to commit suicide and stuff like that. And like yeah, so you guys know Tamar Braxton is like singer, the sister of Tony Braxton and her other sisters and shit like that. And what ended up happening was like she was kind of going through a lot of shit lately. Mostly it had to do with like her family kind of going after the TV network, um, We Entertainment, Women's Entertainment, or however you call it, because you guys should know that the show, the Braxton Family Values, they have the Tamar and Vic show and stuff like that, whom she also divorced, like I think not too long ago and stuff. So, and it's just like she just committed suicide by some pills and stuff like that. So, I really just want to get my prayers out there and shout out to Tamar Braxton and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Also, I want to talk about this whole Nick Cannon situation. With the whole Viacom situation. So you guys, if you guys haven't heard, Nick Cannon kind of caught it. It's some controversy because of the fact that um, he went. I think he had an interview with Professor Griff from Public Enemy. Um, One of my all-time favorite hip hop groups, Professor Griff, definitely one of my very controversial figure. But at the same time, I love watching his interviews and shit. And so, pretty much, he was just with the interview and stuff like that. Um, he got some controversy because of the fact he's talking about the Jews, and he was talking about, and they say that he was anti-Semitic with his comments and shit. You know what I'm saying? And the comments went viral, and Viacom, which owns CBS, and also which owns like all the networks like BT, MTV, and so on and so on, basically fired him from Viacom and shit. And you guys should know, he had a Wild 'N Out show as early back as 2005 and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. And it's basically because Viacom, they've always done some very shady shit, very 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 shady shit and stuff like that. And it kind of always brings me to the point: why is it every time somebody of color speaks about history and shit like that, or speaks about the problems in this community, and they get labeled as either crazy or anti-Semitic, but then you have these people like at Fox News, and then of course you have our president, or excuse me, their president, say all these crazy shit, but at the same time, they get labeled a hero or some shit. And so it comes to the point that a lot of people had like mixed feelings about. Well, I'm gonna get to the mixed feelings in a minute. So it's crazy because Diddy, who owns like Revolt TV, pretty much offered him to Wild 'N Out, to be on his channel. Okay, good. Like that's a good gesture, but it kind of brings me to the point because it's like recently, Revolt TV's kind of having their issues with Eminem, and I don't know. Part of me thinks it's like a tactic to get after Eminem. I don't know, cause with you guys know how I feel about Diddy and shit. So I don't know. And then, well, really, what really sparked my nerve to talk about this topic was because of the fact that Nick Cannon to apologize. He wanted to apologize for what he said, and a lot of people kind of looking at him like, "Why are you apologizing?" Here's my thing about this. Would I apologize for what I said? No. That's just me personally. However, if your job is on the line, or your career is on the line, or you have a family to support, I've even learned this the hard way. Sometimes you might have to bite that bullet. But then it comes to the fact that these motherfuckers over here saying, "Oh well, you're a sellout," and it's just like, okay, I'm not like the biggest Nick Cannon fan like that either, but I do like his interviews, and he's saying some good shit sometimes in the interviews and stuff. However, if it was the other way around, let's just say if y'all were the ones who wanted who had your job on the line, was y'all apologize? Part of y'all will apologize too if that's like your only livelihood of living and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to like just say that shit right there. Um, you know, Nick Cannon's just really trying to like talk about white supremacists, cause white supremacy is trying to fucking control all of us like in this whole society today and shit like that. So I really just want to talk about that. Um, and my final thing I really want to bring to attention, um, this whole Kanye West shit. Oh boy. So I want to say like the best for last. So you guys should know Kanye is on his little running for president ordeal and shit like that. And he had like this little campaign rally in South Carolina where he made some comments about Harriet Tubman saying that she didn't actually free the slaves. He said some shit like having the slaves work for white people, like some asinine shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much, the black community kind of like had a backlash, and even like some people had a backlash of it too. Like, and it just got to the point where it's like, at this point, we should not really be surprised what he says because of his like mental illness and stuff like that. And what really sparked my nerve too was the fact he started coming after the Kardashians, talking about, well, before I get to that, he started, he said some shit like how he considered having an abortion with Northwest, and I'm just like, dude, really? Like bringing that shit up, man? Like, really, dude? Like, and so he's talked about how the Kardashians were trying to like control him and to lock him up, making some claims that, oh, the Get Out movie was actually about me and whatnot. Which, and it's like the fact that I'm seeing a lot of people saying, oh, well, he needs help. But at the same time, too, it's like, if y'all some of his friends and y'all say he needs help and shit like that, why aren't y'all actually going and trying to help him out and shit like that? Like, because recently it's been reported that, Dave Chappelle went to go see him in Wyoming and stuff like that, check on him. Dame Dash. And it's crazy, too, because, like, shout out to Try, me and Try were talking about this when we were doing the whole Rick Ross discography breakdown. And we're talking about how Dame Dash went to go visit him and stuff like that, too. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy, too. And, yeah, it's just, like, I don't know. It's just, you can't control anybody, especially, like, somebody like Kanye. You can't control, like, you have to let him make his own decisions and shit like that, because control is just a way to strain and restrain somebody's soul, in my opinion. And it's just the fact that I was watching like the whole Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner were talking about how they've been worried about him, his mental state is going through a breakdown and some shit like that. Their PRs and some shit, and I'm just like, with the Kardashians, man. Every black man that they come across, something always be happening. That's all I'm gonna say. Something always be happening because, if I'm not mistaken, Lamar Odom, I think he went through some shit with drugs, some shit. I think who else? Who else? Like, it's like anytime they date somebody or Kardashian date somebody, they're always going through some crazy shit. Just look what happened to Bruce Jenner. I'm sorry, but yeah, man, that's all I have to say. And it's just what it is. Like with this whole election and shit like that, like it's just making this whole 2020, man. It's fucking years on some bullshit and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So now he's making all these claims talking about, oh well, now Kim Kardashian was trying to like have an affair with Meek Mill when they were doing the whole prison reform thing and shit like that. And that's another story for a different day. But When it comes to like with mental illness and shit like that, what I really want to bring upon is the fact that, excuse me, it's the fact that we should all like watch our mental illness, especially around this day and age and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like with what's going on happening today, people losing their jobs, people losing money, people are wondering how they cannot get this fucking disease and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I even myself and shit like that. Watch my mental health. And it's just that we can't take shit lightly. We really can't take shit lightly and shit. Like we just have to really just breathe for a moment because no matter what, we all got this. We all got this and shit. Like just like take care of yourself, and just people just like people. I know people are like really just praying for Kanye at the moment and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, mentally, just hoping that he's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because black men going through mental health, it always gets swept under the rug. Always gets swept under the rug, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? By countless people, especially like people who, like I said, like I mentioned with the whole Will Smith thing, like expecting the man to be like the powerful provider, which 100% is true, and shit like that. But at the same time, we can't really just always with the men be. Sometimes we gotta check on ourselves, check on them too, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to make this a too long video. I just want to speak my piece on all of this. Um, like I'm definitely gonna get back and do some reviews soon. I've just been like so busy. I actually really need to take a mental break from YouTube myself and shit, cause I've been going through some stuff myself. So just hopefully the best for everybody. 2020 has been like a crazy, crazy, crazy year so far, and we still like got about we got 5 months left. Like in 2 days, it's gonna be halfway to Christmas and shit. Can y'all believe that? Whew. But as usual, this is your boy Reg in the building. Y'all can follow me on Insta at MCRegMusic. Follow me on Twitter at RealReg1. If y'all want to see some stuff discussed, follow me on my Patreon and shit like that. And stay tuned for some more stuff. Peace.